how true it really was when English philosopher and physician John Locke said, "Things of this world are in so constant a flux that nothing remains long in the same state," meaning everything actually that exists in the universe as well as in the cosmos has always been in a constant state of change and transformation, and that means everything is subject to flux, motion, and movement under all circumstances and situations. Everything moves, everything changes, everything transforms, and obviously everything is also always in motion in one way or another, although we're not always able to recognize all these movements and motions and changes because we live in a consistent state of ignorance and we're asleep most of our lives, and we're doing things that obviously maybe or may not be necessary to our well-being, purpose, intention, character, or worth, and we're pursuing external education, acquiring knowledge, fulfilling dreams, and possessing things that obviously are other people's expectations, demands, desires, or dictates that we think is ours, when in reality we waste most of our time and lives pursuing external recognition, societal validation, or chasing materialistic possessions, property, wealth, money, etc., that do not contribute any meaning, content, significance, worth, or importance to ourselves or to our character whatsoever. So materialistic possession and external validation cannot fill the void that already exists in our lives because of our own lack of content, meaning, significance, and worth. And if our life does not have these qualities, then we basically have to grind harder and create content by depending upon ourselves as well as our abilities and talents and its application to reality. So things of this world are always in a motion, and that's why nothing actually remains in the same state for a very long period of time. Everything is changing, even though we don't always understand it, because we're unwilling to recognize this constant motion, transformation, and change, and the perpetual flux that's always there, not only in the outer space, not only in the universe and the elements of the cosmos, but also in the world in which we live. Everything is changing and transforming into something that may be slightly different from its former state, but everything does change, and we have to come to the realization and ultimate conclusion that we may also have to change ourselves from time to time for obviously the resurrection of our character, importance, worth, significance, and so that